Freedom Queen Live is upon us, and I'm bringing on one of our speakers today to talk with you about what she's going to be speaking on at Freedom Queen Live, why she's speaking at Freedom Queen Live, and why you have to come to Freedom Queen Live. And so this person is someone that I have watched, and if you're live with me now, say hello in the comments section. If you have your ticket to Freedom Queen Live, put an emoji in the chat box if you have your ticket to Freedom Queen Live. If you don't, welcome to Freedom Queen Live soon. And so this person that I'm bringing up, she's a speaker at Freedom Queen Live, and the reason why she's speaking at this event is because she's built a movement. I've watched this person go from zero, not having a business, from being in a completely different industry, to building $1 million company, a 7-figure business, making $100,000 in 30 days time, growing a movement where when she drops something, people follow and listen. And so you get the opportunity. I see Dacia's here, Emma's here, Brittany's here. If you have your ticket to Freedom Queen Live, put an emoji in the chat. If you don't have it, stay on this live because it's gonna blow your mind. And what I would love for you to do before I bring up this amazing speaker is share this. Share this live in the bottom right-hand corner. Share it to your Instagram stories. Share it to your broadcast channel. Share it with one human being whose life needs to be changed, who you know needs to wake up. So without further ado, let me bring up this incredible human. Is your life. Alex Najarian, come on up.
Hello, Bridget James Lang.
Hello, Alex Najarian. Are you in New York City?
I am in New York City, having the time of my life with you on IG Live.
I'm so excited. And, you know, I know you're a speaker at Freedom Queen Live, but as I was introducing you, I was thinking about how truly amazing it is and extraordinary of what you've done. Going from zero to $1 million company, building a real movement. So do you want to introduce yourself to my audience in case they don't know who you are?
Yes, I'm Alex Najarian. I'm a private client of Bridget's, and I've been working with Bridget for over 1.5 years. We'll be coming up on 2 years together, and I help you unleash your highest level identity so that you can lead a trailblazing movement that changes the planet and makes huge money as a byproduct. And I'm so excited to speak at Freedom Queen Live. You better be there. If you haven't gotten your ticket, I don't know what you're doing. You get your ticket right now and then message us that you've gotten your ticket while we're on this live together, because it's going to be extraordinary.
It's insane. But that's what else do you expect? The women, you speaking on this stage, the reason I chose certain speakers is because I know what it's like to build a movement. And I've only chosen people that have really built a real movement. And that's what you've done. And I know it's something you value is being in the room. So Can you talk about, let's go back to that first conference. I think it was your first conference, the Tony Robbins one that you went to.
Yes.
And what were some of the things, when you signed up for that conference, maybe that held you back from going to it?
Yeah.
And then I want to talk through what shifted for you by being in the real room.
Well, I had been in so many masterminds, courses, all of the things, plugging in, being in the online rooms from my own apartment, from my own home. And those got me to a certain point. They were extraordinary. There were skills I was learning, I was changing, I was implementing. And I remember I had gotten myself to about 20K cash months, 30K cash months, but I just felt like something needed to completely unleash to start going into 50K months and beyond. And to me also, what allowed for those high cash months was this concept of trailblazing a movement, not just selling courses and here's how it solves your problem. And now I'm going to do some launch to convince you that you need this thing. And then I'm going to have to go back at zero and rebuild with new leads. It really shifting into 50K months really was, I have a movement. I know my people. I have depth in relationships. This is who I am. This is what we're doing. And
Yes.
what allowed me to really step into that truthfully, what was a huge shift for me was
Mm.
in-person conference with Tony Robbins and being at your in-person retreat in Costa Rica. It was getting in the real room that shifted me on an identity level. Why? It was something about when I walked in, I'll start with the Tony Robbins conference, walking in and seeing, oh, this man at his core is a coach. This man has built a coaching business, but it's so huge, right? It's so huge. There's 14,000 people here. I think it was 11,000 live and then 3,000 virtually. And he built a movement and it shifted my brain chemistry to just be like, oh, that's what playing big
Mm.
actually looks like.
Mm.
That's what playing big actually looks like. I am playing at a minuscule level. And it brought this
Mm.
new awareness of you're playing so small and he's just a person. And if you can just get yourself to play a little bit bigger just by like operating, borrowing some of the things that
Yes.
he's believing, some of the ways that he's showing up, how he thinks about things, his belief systems, moves he's made.
Yep.
If I can just emulate that an inch more, I'll be at a whole different frequency. And it's like that is
Yep.
the power of getting in the room. It shifts you internally.
It's like you're able to see all the gaps. You're like,
Yes.
oh, Tony Robbins, 14,000 people. I love what you said there. It's like if you just do 1% of what that person's doing,
Yes.
you are going to have a huge shift inside of your business, inside of your life. So what what about for coming to Costa Rica? Because I know that what I love about this story is you had all the reasons not to
Yes.
come. You didn't like, there was something that happened coming to Costa Rica where most people would have been like, okay, I guess I'm not coming, but you showed up anyways.
Well, I think already when you introduced the Costa Rica idea to me, I did have this voice going through my head like, do I need this? I'm going to get on a
Mm.
plane, go over here for 48 hours for a weekend. I'm already in her mastermind. I already have one-to-one messaging access to her. What am I really doing to pay for this spot, the retreat, get on a plane
Yeah.
ticket, go over here, inconvenience myself? And I did have those thoughts going through my head like, why am I doing this? And then I forgot my passport. Long story short, I was in New York and I forgot my passport and I had all of the, which was going to move back the trip. Once I decided to go, it was going to move back the trip where I really only had like 36 hours in Costa Rica by the time I
Yes.
actually was going to make it out there. And so I had all of these reasons like, why am I doing this? Do I need this? Can I go without this? But I just really had the conversation with myself like, you can't afford not to go. Like, come
Mm.
on, you're going to
Come
go there, you're going to be in
on.
the room, you're going to have a shift that you're not going to have if you just operate the same way you've been
Yeah.
operating. If you say no, if you say I can't, if you say I'm not going to make the move, nothing's going to change. And just by you being there and being in person and having one conversations or one experience that shifts how you see yourself, there's going to
Mm.
be a huge ripple effect of that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I can't afford not to go. I could be going for 15 minutes and it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a huge shift
Yeah.
that I can't not experience. So I found a way to get the passport. I got there in Costa Rica with you for truly what I think was almost 36 hours before
Yes.
I left. I was the last one there and first one to leave, but it really was shifting. And again, it was that experience of, well, did you have some conversation about some magic strategy? No, but I did have conversations with you about, well, what do my new standards need to be? Well, who do I need to become? How do I need to see things? How
Yeah.
do I need to view myself? How do I need to shift my beliefs? And those conversations in a matter of minutes and just how I saw myself to be the person to get on the plane and say yes to this experience
Yeah.
changed who I am. And that at its core is what is the ripple effect of everyone watching this, pioneering their movement, pioneering their path, is being someone like
Yeah.
being the person to say yes, being the person to get in the rooms where you see yourself as an equal to the people speaking on stages, hosting the conference, and you get one step closer to be when you're in the room, you
Yeah.
get one step closer to going, I'm next, I'm next, I'm next. And it not feeling so literally physically
Are.
distant where they're over here and you're over here. It's like we're 3 feet from each other. I'm rubbing elbows with a person who built a multi-million-dollar business. I'm having a conversation with a person who's built a multi-million-dollar brand. Of course I'm next. Why wouldn't I be? And that shifts
Mm,
it shifts how you show up. It shifts how you see
yeah.
yourself, which then completely changes your results and who you are and how you feel in your business.
Okay, but I gotta share something with you right now. We are getting so close to Freedom Queen Live 2024, the conference happening September 26th in Tampa, Florida. I am so excited. Like, it is a 4-day event. We're going to have speakers, workshops, and I'm doing this event not because I want to have a room filled with every single person in Freedom Queen, but because I want to create an experience for you, an event horizon, a gateway where you leave never being the same, where you exit Freedom Queen Live going, okay, I know what to do. I know how to build a movement. I know how to build a community. I know how to create content to serve them. I know how to sell. And I know how to be the one that can build the movement over and over and over again. That's the number one thing I keep hearing from people that have already purchased their tickets from Freedom Queen Live is they're like, I'm excited about all of the content, but really what I'm excited for is to be someone and know that I can actually do this. I can build a multi-million-dollar company. I can create something extraordinary over and over and over again and actually do it. So I'm so pumped. This is going to change the game for Freedom Queen. It's going to change your life. It's going to create a ripple effect in the entire world. Make sure you click below to get your ticket for general admission, or if you want to be on a whole other vibe, join VIP, and I will see you at Freedom Queen Live 2024. It does. It's like, I love what you said. I would have come to that room even if it was 15 minutes because that one conversation was so important. And you were so resourceful. I remember the night I was in my penthouse in town and you messaged me like, I think Robbie and I were watching a movie and I didn't see it at first. And you're like, I left my passport. What am I gonna do? And I'm like, no, like what the heck? And you're like, it's fine. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find the way. And you got resourceful and you like called a friend who was able to fly your passport from Puerto Rico to New York City to get on the plane. It's like you were coming no matter what. I remember for those of you that are watching live or the replay, Alex came on our day 2 of the event. And at that time, we had a boat trip planned.
Yes.
So, Alex, the first time we're meeting in real life, Alex has her suitcase like in the street of Costa Rica. I'm on the side of the street, like, where is she? And we're like running towards each other before we're going to get on this boat. And like that, those are moments that no one else will ever be able to experience. And those things are burned into your memory. I remember seeing you in the ocean and the giant stingray flew up like right behind you. I remember you jumping off the top balcony of the boat we were on.
Yes.
All of those moments become memories that transform your identity and how you see yourself.
Yes.
What were some of the moments in Costa Rica or just from being in person that you're like, if I was going to Freedom Queen Live, and by the way, if you're live with us, say hello in the comments, put an emoji in the chat if you're already coming to Freedom Queen Live. For people that are already coming there, what would you say to them to get the best experience out of this event? Maybe things that aren't as obvious as like sitting and taking notes and listening.
Have conversations with everyone. If you are going to this event, the like real way to be utilizing this beyond taking notes from what people are tangibly teaching you is meeting people. These are going to be your future clients. These are going to be your future mentors. These are going to be your future collaborators. Everything that you desire to create is going to be sitting in that room. Like
Mm.
the relationship that's necessary to your next up level, again, whether that's going to be a collaboration with someone, whether that person's going to become your client, whether that person's going to be your next mentor that mirrors your next level power to you and you completely unleash into who you're meant to be, all of those people are going to be in that room. So it's like,
Mm.
go have conversations with everyone, and have conversations not through the lens of I'm less than you, or even I have so much to learn from you, but from the lens of like, we're the same. We're the same. Like you and me, whoever you're talking to, whether you're talking to Bridget or one of the speakers or whoever it is next to you in the audience, it's like we're in this together. We're building massive movements, multi-million dollar movements. I am. And it's just like
Mm.
that is how you go into the experience, and
Yeah.
you leave with a whole new shift in it comes back to how you see yourself and the relationships with other people and what you're here to build. It's like you are in this world of people who are doing massive things, and you're a part of it, and think of yourself as a big player in it, not just a person attending the event.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is why everyone after Freedom Queen Live, like the identity shifts people are going to have. Like there's going to be like a frequency of people that came to Freedom Queen Live and
Yes.
people that don't. It's like you after Freedom Queen Live is a next level leader. Like it's going to be like a whole new industry
Yes.
created as the hundreds of people that are
Truly.
there. We have so many people, Alex, that they know they're coming but haven't yet bought their ticket. I get this a lot
Yeah.
from people. They're like, I'm coming, but I haven't yet bought it. What would you say to someone that they know they want to be there, they know they want to be in their room, but haven't yet hit that button to go?
There is transformation in the transaction. So start now, because just by you pressing that button today, like right now while we're on this live, go pull up the page and like seriously, go pull up the page and check out, because just by actually making the move and getting committed in the transaction, you're saying to yourself, I'm serious about this. I mean business, and you feel that shift already. Whereas when you put it off, there's a reason you keep putting it off. I'm nervous. Well, maybe I'll find an excuse not to go. Well, what if something comes up and then I have paid for my ticket and I can't get a refund?
Mm.
And by playing that game, you still haven't fully said yes to you. Not just yes to Freedom Queen Live, but yes to you. So by you just opening the checkout page, checking out and going, I'm doing this. I'm finding a way to be there. I'm getting the hotel room. I'm going to be rubbing elbows with people I admire. I'm not just going to watch them on the internet. I'm going to be side by side, having
Mm.
conversations, getting lunch with them, having a slumber party with them. Do you know the identity shifts that are going to happen when we're all hanging out in each other's hotel rooms? My boyfriend is like, will there be pillow fights? I'm like, yes, there will be Freedom Queen pillow fights. Like, come on, right? So come on, like
Come on.
get in the space, and just by you saying yes to yourself and you going, okay, let me go pick out my outfit, let me get my plane ticket, like what am I going to be selling while I'm at Freedom Queen Live? How am I going to take my audience on the journey
Yes.
of, I'm a person who goes to retreats, this is how this event is changing my
Yes.
life, are you next? And you're embodied in that. All of that is going to shift for you. So it's like, make the move today. What are you waiting for?
Mm.
And it's a completely different experience than just watching more courses and posting more content from your home. It's a completely different experience. Is the taking courses online incredible? Yes. Like, are they important? Yes. But there's something that happens when you are in a room of hundreds of women who are all moving with courage and doing what you want to be doing. Like, can you imagine not coming back different? It's like you have everything to gain from this experience. And I don't even want to say nothing to lose, because you do have something to lose if you don't go, right? It's like you do have something to lose if you don't go. You won't have that transformation. You won't have that
Yeah.
shift. It's going to be more sitting at your laptop conjuring content to create. It's like when you
Mm.
make a move like that, you know what you need to say, you know what you need to do, you know who you need to be just by
Yeah.
being in that frequency for a weekend. I mean, there's no world in which you don't come back with
Yeah.
something bigger to say, a bigger message on your heart, new
Yeah.
offer ideas, like wisdom pouring out of you.
Yeah.
It's like you have everything to gain from
Yeah.
making this move.
That's been so much of our work too.
Yeah.
That's how, like, your biggest thing, what I've watched you do. I just bought my ticket,
Yay.
Miranda says.
Good.
Miranda! Welcome to Freedom Queen Live. Comment below why, like, what was the pull for you? I think Miranda has been DMing me. I think she's flying. Tell us where you're flying from, because I think it's like Bali or something like that. So Miranda just said yes to flying from Bali and making a decision like this right now.
That is wild. And like, you're a pioneer just for doing that. I have a client that's coming from Australia. Like, it's going to be extraordinary. Like, that's a 37-hour flight.
But
I
those people are rewarded.
they're so and one person, you know, Caitlin, she canceled her baby shower to like her own baby shower that was already had invitations to be at Freedom Queen Live and
Like,
rescheduled
she's
it.
about to pop. Like, she's
Yes,
like,
of
I'm coming and I'm
course.
canceling my baby shower. Sorry, guys, I gotta go. Like, that, Miranda, congratulations. Caitlin doing that, canceling her baby shower to be there. Because I have people in my DMs that are like, well, I'm a mother, I can't go. But yeah, but then there's Caitlin, who also is a mother and she's
Yeah.
pregnant, canceling her baby shower. Like, many of the speakers are mothers. Then there's people that are like, oh, I can't fly around the world. Then you have Miranda, who's flying from Bali to be inside of this room. So, what have you seen is the biggest thing for people that are signing up for Freedom Queen Live? What has been that driver for them that's like, this is why I'm coming to this event, from maybe the conversations you've been having with people?
I think people get that there's something different that happens when you're in a space like that. I think people understand the power of magic. I think people understand the power of energetic shifts, identity shifts. I think people understand that this isn't about conjuring up what to say so people buy and creating offers from our living room
Mm,
and selling them. I think it's like people understand, set your own soul on fire, like live with
yes.
courage, like live with bravery, live with playing with your edge, live with leaning into the discomfort because you know what's possible for you
Yeah.
on the other side. Like, it's all of that. And by being in this room, you're saying yes, 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 yes to all of those pieces, the leaning into the edge, the getting uncomfortable, the internal shifts, the shifting of beliefs, the shifting how you see yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, call it magic, call it God, call it source, call it whatever, call it energy. It's like people understand that that there's going to be a magic in that weekend. And
Yeah.
it's like, of course there is. Of course there's going to be hundreds of women who are playing a big game, that are
Yeah.
playing like a parallel game to what you want to be doing. It's like, how could you not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for Miranda that just joined.
Yeah.
Like, that is huge. And if you're watching this live right now, like Alex said, go buy your ticket, come back on this live and post it in the chat. Like, let this be a moment where you bought a ticket on a live, you came back in, you're like, I'm in. Because now we know Miranda. Like, you are rewarded when you move. You are rewarded when you go
Yeah.
for it. Like, people see you taking big action whenever. Like, and whenever I've had a client that's exploded, I reward everyone for making big moves. I'm like, take my platform, get in
Yeah.
front of people. Like, there's so much wealth to be made in just that. And that's something, Alex, I've seen your growth going to 100K months now. It's like, you have shifted your identity so much. Can you talk a little bit about how your identity has shifted over the last year and why that is a really big piece of your growth?
It, it's the biggest piece of my growth, because everything that we produce is selling our wisdom. And our wisdom is how we're going through the world. So your content is your wisdom, which comes back to your identity and how you see yourself. Your offers are your wisdom, which comes back to your identity and how you see yourself and how you're living your life. The way that you sell, the way that you message your work, it all comes back to how you see yourself. So it's like, man, in the beginning, like when I first hired Bridget, I did see myself as a coach on the internet who was selling offers and posting content to make money online. And there was a frequency for that. And what I was getting paid matched that context.
Mm,
And it's like what I get paid now, what the impact I make for my clients now matches such a bigger context in how I see myself and what I'm doing. Like we're having conversations around what legacy am I actually leaving when I die? Like, what impact do I really want to create that goes so much bigger than learn how to make money online? Like, who do I really want to be for? How can I really be the mentor for that person who's
mm,
building that kind of business? Like, those are all conversations around identity, how I see myself, how I see my leadership, how I see my work, how I see my impact. And it's like when you're having those conversations and you're rising to the answers that come up in those conversations because they're not often comfortable. It's like you're rising to the
yeah,
call. It's like, oh
yeah,
gosh, like, okay, this is what I'm being called to do. And that feels really edgy. And I know in real time, a transparent behind the scenes, I'm still having those conversations with Bridget, like, okay, it's time to pioneer even more. It's time to embody what the word
yeah.
trailblazer means even more. Like, here we
Mm,
go. And that's edgy and scary and, requires courage and sometimes discomfort. But it's like, that's the real breakthrough. It's not just say this, go get the brand shoot, look like this, sell this offer. It's like, who are you being behind all of it that dictates the potency of
yes.
the content, the offers, the coaching that you're doing, the mentorship conversations,
Yeah.
the branding that actually encapsulates truth
Mhm.
beyond what's being portrayed and captured by the camera. It's like all of that is revenue shifting as a byproduct.
And that's why you are where you are today. And that's why you're blowing up now. And mark my words, everybody watching this, you're going to watch Alex just continue to blow up even more and more and take Trailblazers to a whole other level because you've unlocked the thing. And this is what we're teaching at Freedom Queen Live. This is what Alex is talking about coming to Freedom Queen Live. It's like, look, you're going to get strategy at Freedom Queen
Yeah.
Live. Like I've particularly brought in people that will teach you strategy, that will teach you
Yeah.
the nuances of what it takes to really build a movement, become a movement maker.
Yep.
But more importantly, you're going to have an identity shift. It's
Yes.
be, do, have. You be that person, you become them, you see yourself that
Yes.
way. You start taking action like that. You start taking action like that. Now you have it. It's like, and you do that every iteration. So whether you're
Yes.
at zero or whether you're already at your first six figures, your first a million, this room is going to be an expander for you no matter
It's
what.
going to be an expander no matter what. And I would say too, if you're even in the earlier stages, like listen, if you're earning $100,000 cash months, $500,000 cash months, it's going to be an expansive room for you. And if you're in the earlier stages, it's like, dang, if I could go back to an earlier version of Alex who
Mm,
was earning 2K months, 10K months, and there had been an opportunity like Freedom Queen off the get go, oh my God, I would have blown up 10 times as fast with
mm,
10 times more self trust,
yeah,
10 times more personal power, 10 times more knowing what I was meant for, so much less
yeah.
questioning because I would have seen I can do this too. They're no different from me. And when I think this is huge for people, when you see the people that you watch online up close in the room, I know from personal experience, there's a shift where I feel she is just a person. She is just a person who's decided to make the moves, but she can do it. I can do it. That's Freedom Queen. She can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Right. It's like she can do it. I can do it. I can do it. It's like that in the beginning, oh my gosh, you will
Yeah.
blow up after the fact when you realize they're just people. I can do it too.
I love what you said earlier about rubbing elbows. It's like you're next to people in the field.
Yeah.
Like how there's no chance that you can't do it. It's more dangerous to stay at home in your safe bubble behind the screen, pretending, not knowing anyone, than it is to fly there, get in the room. Like that is the safer bet. That's the
Yes.
safer place.
Yes.
Because in there, like this is also a room of quality, not of quantity. So it's not like a conference where there's 10,000 people there and some, it's like Joe from a cold ad who you don't even know
Yeah.
there. This is a room of quality. Like every single person owns a service-based business. They deeply care about impact. They want to take their business to another level, and they also care about you. I think that's a really big thing in Freedom Queen. It's like you've experienced this from being in the masterminds, from being everywhere. It's like being in the Freedom Queen space, it's like collaboration, community over competition. And when you're like, when, what's the quote? It's like, when one boat rises, they all rise. Like, when the water starts rising for one woman, it's going to start happening and all the boats are going to rise up. And so you seeing Alex speak on stage, other people there, that's just going to help your boat rise even more by being in that room. And I see somebody here, Intuitive Mommies, Leia, says, it feels so scary yet exciting. I so badly want to join. What would you say to Leia here with us?
You have the scary feeling that you're feeling is the exact sensation saying, do it. Like, scary and exciting, the fact that you put those two words in the same sentence is exactly that. It's the same frequency in your body. It's like, and you can interpret that as nerves, don't do it, or you could interpret that as that is this voice inside of me saying, leap, go, book it, like lean in. And the fact that you're saying, I so badly want to join, it's like, why deprive yourself of that? If you know that that's going to be a room, a space that lights so much fire in your heart and in your soul, and you know that that's going to be the greatest gift you could give yourself this year, like, why would you not say yes to that opportunity? Like, for all we know, we have one life. Like, how could you say no to such an opportunity that you know is going to just completely rock your soul while you have time here on earth? Like, that's what I would say. Let's go.
I'm just letting the silence hit because it's true. Like, for all we know, we have one life. And so are you going to look back on your life and tell the story that you were too scared, you let fear take over? Because I know that's like how Alex has gotten to where she is today. Like, people have fears, right? I have fears. That's a normal human being thing, but where there's fear, power is near. And it's like, there's a reason you have that resistance. Anyone that's going through a time of resistance, like, you have no idea how much power is right around the corner of you leaning into that resistance and feeling that pull and making that change and making that move and going. It's like, the bigger the tree, the bigger the dream, the bigger the shadow. So it's like, good. Congratulations. You are a powerful woman who has incredible things coming your way.
Period.
So, Alex, thank you for coming on this live. I can't wait to see you at Freedom Queen Live, mic'd up on stage. I've watched you go from 2K months to 100K months to your first million. Your second million is going to happen like that. I can't wait to see you mic'd up. Is there anything you want to share with my audience before we close out and I see you at Freedom Queen Live?
Just go buy your ticket and send me a message after so I can celebrate you. And that's what I have to say. And I'll give you the biggest hug at Freedom Queen Live. If you can tap me on the shoulder and say, I was on the live with you and Bridget, and it was in that moment when I realized I need to lean into my courage, and I bought my ticket, and I'll say, like, I'll give you the biggest hug and be like, we're in this together. Like, let's keep leaning into the courage and change the world.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I can't wait to see you at Freedom Queen Live, and thank you for coming on.
Love you, Bridget. I can't wait. Let's do it.
Bye.
Bye.